I'm Ashley and welcome to my channel. And today's video is all about getting into the holiday spirit, which is why I'm wearing my silly little elf hat here. And today I have 12 2023 Christmas book releases to share with you. And while I haven't read any of these books yet, their descriptions make them sound like they are perfect for getting into the holiday spirit. And I'm super excited to read some of them this Christmas season. So book number 1 on this list is A Holly Jolly Ever After by Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone. And this one came out this year on October 10th and is book 2 in the series. And these books are books in the series, but they can be read as standalones. They just take place in the same universe. And book number 1 in this series came out last year and it was A Merry Little Meet Cute. And our two main characters in this one, who are also each other's love interests, are Callum and Winnie. Callum was a member of a boy band, and then after doing that, he opened up a pizza chain. And the book description says he's living his best dad bod life, hooking up with bridesmaids at all his friends' weddings. And Winnie, on the other hand, it says she did everything right. She married her childhood sweetheart, avoided the downfalls of adolescent stardom, and transitioned into a stable adult acting career. But then her life kind of falls apart, so she's trying to find herself again. And then the two end up acting together in a steamy holiday Christmas romance. And that's how their romance starts. So that one sounds like it's gonna be cute and steamy with opposites attracting. So book number 2 on my list is Along Came Holly, and this one was released on September 26th. And like the previous book, this book is part of a series of standalone Christmas romance books. And this is the 3rd book in the series. And the other 2 were Nick and Noelle's Christmas playlist and There's Something About Mary. Description of this one says, Holly Winters is not about to let her grumpy neighbor Declan steal her holiday joy, even if he does look rather handsome under the mistletoe. So this one seems like it's going to have grumpy sunshine, with the guy being the grumpy one and also being a Grinch because he doesn't like Christmas. So apparently Holly owns a very festive Christmas shop, whereas Declan, her Grinchy neighbor, owns the hardware store next door. And I guess to mess with Declan, Holly hires him to put up her lights, and he hates Christmas, but he can use the money from the job, so he accepts. And that seems like shenanigans ensue from there, and along the way, the two develop feelings for each other. So this one seems like it's going to be a lot of fun and a perfect read for those who love the grumpy sunshine trope. The 3rd book on this list is A Christmas Wager by Holly Cassidy. And this one came out on September 26th. And this one is described as a delightful enemies to lovers holiday rom-com set in the quaint mountain town of Maple Falls, Colorado, about a girl and a small town boy who compete in the town's annual holiday games in order to win the right price for a charming local Christmas shop. Perfect for fans of the hating game and the 12 dates of Christmas. So again, this one sounds like it'll be a perfect one for people who love enemies to lovers romance. It also sounds like it's going to be a whole lot of fun too, with the whole competition aspect of it as well. So book number 4 on my list is Baking Christmas by Kerry Winfrey, and this one was released on September 26th. And the description on this one reads, Laurel Grant is playing house for the holidays, complete with a fake husband and kids, in this delightful, charming rom-com by Kerry Winfrey. So our main character in this one is Laurel, and she is a social media manager for an Ohio tourism magazine and website. However, a misunderstanding between her and her boss leads her boss to believe that she owns a farm just outside of Columbus, but actually the farm is owned by her twin sister Holly. Laurel just manages the social media site for the farm, but she needs to keep this misunderstanding going because she's afraid that if she doesn't, she might lose her job. And things get even more complicated because Gilbert, her boss, who's recently divorced, invites himself over to the farm for their big Christmas Eve dinner celebration. So now for that night, Laurel has to pretend that she runs the farm, and to make things even more complicated, it turns out that her fake husband, the guy who's going to pretend to be her husband for that night, is actually Max Beckett, a guy who is like her nemesis. But then a snowstorm ends up trapping them all, so instead of it just being one night, it turns into an entire weekend. So this one sounds perfect for people who love enemies to lovers again, and also it has the fake dating trope in it as well. So book number 5 on my list is Love, Holly by Emily Stone. This one was released on September 26th. So the description of this one reads, a young woman tries to heal a rift in her elderly pen pal's family in time for Christmas, all while falling in love, and maybe even reuniting with her own family in this dazzling romance from the author of Always in December and One Last Gift. Sometimes it takes a stranger to bring you back to yourself. Ever since a car accident tore her family apart, Holly has been part of a Lonely Hearts holiday letter writing club. Each December, she writes to a stranger who's also spending Christmas alone and receives a letter from another lonely person in return. Usually the letters go unanswered. That's the point. The letters are anonymous, and the senders write whatever is in their heart. But this year, the letter Holly receives is different. Not only is the letter full of a grief she knows all too well, but its writer, Emma, mentions a place that Holly has visited. When she realizes that she might actually be able to find the letter's author, Holly becomes determined to reunite Emma with the estranged grandson, Jack, with whom Emma is desperate to reconnect. And when Holly finally tracks him down, she remembers that she's met Jack once before, and the connection was electric. This one in particular is one that I am really interested in. I'm definitely going to be reading this one this holiday season, and it just sounds super cute and wholesome. And it also reminds me of one of my favorite rom-com movies, which is Letters to Juliet. So that's another reason that I really want to read this one. So book number 6 on my list is The Holiday Mix-Up by Ginny Baird, and this one was released on October 10th. And the description on this one says, while You Were Sleeping meets a wedding date with a fun Puerto Rican holiday twist, in which a diner waitress agrees to be her patron's fake date only for him to land in a coma and her to be stuck playing his sweetheart with his family all week long. Lonely-hearted waitress Katie Smith has nowhere to go for Christmas and a huge crush on her gorgeous diner patron Juan Martinez. So when Juan asks Katie to pose as his girlfriend for holiday festivities at his family's winery, Katie leaps at the chance. That is, until an accident lands Juan in a coma right after giving his folks the news. Katie knows she should tell the Martinezes the truth, but when they immediately embrace her, Katie is reluctant to let her fantasy of a family holiday go. And then there's Juan's butler, Mateo, whose smile tugs at her heartstrings just right and who tells her perfect Juan might not be everything he seems. This one seems perfect for those who love the fake dating trope, but also seems like there's a twist to it because it seems like she's actually going to not fall in love with the person she's fake dating, but in love with his brother. So that right there is very intriguing. So book number 7 on this list is Wrapped with a Bow by Lillie Vale. So this one is described as, in its heyday, Piney Peaks and its beloved Christmas house were made famous by sleigh bells under starlight, a romantic holiday movie. 50 years later, the small town is ready for a new love story. As a successful film liaison, Eliza Rowe has her heart set on one thing and one thing only, putting her hometown back on the map. So when she gets a chance to secure the long hoped for sequel to Sleigh Bells Under Starlight, a beloved holiday movie, she's willing to do whatever it takes to make sure everything goes smoothly. Unfortunately, that includes claiming to have already gotten permission to film at the historic Christmas house, permission she was very much denied by the gorgeous new owner. So this one seems like it's going to be another grumpy sunshine because the owner of that Christmas house is going to be our love interest, Vess Hollins. And apparently he actually lives in the city, but he is coming back to the town to sell the house that he inherited from his great-aunt. Book number 8 on this list is Bright Lights, Big Christmas by Mary Kay Andrews, and this one was released on September 26th. And this one is described as, when fall rolls around, it's time for Kerry Tulliver to leave her family's Christmas tree farm in the mountains of North Carolina for the wilds of New York City to help her gruff older brother and his dog Queenie sell the trees at the family stand at a corner in Greenwich Village. Sharing a tiny vintage camper and experience in Manhattan for the first time, Kerry's ready to try to carve out a new corner for herself. In the weeks leading into Christmas, Kerry quickly becomes close with the charming neighbors who live near their stand. When an elderly neighbor goes missing, Kerry will need to combine her country know-how with her newly acquired New York knowledge to protect the new friends she's come to think of as family. And complicating everything is Patrick, a single dad raising his adorable dragon-loving son, Austin, on this quirky block. Kerry and Patrick's chemistry is undeniable, but what chance does this holiday romance really have? So this one sounds really cute, and I just like the little detail that the son of the love interest likes dragons. Book number 9 is The Christmas Cafe by Eliza Evans, and this one came out on October 3rd. And the description of this one reads, clumsy, earnest baker Sylvie West has worked at the Christmas Cafe in Silver Bells, Wyoming ever since her boozy eggnog fruitcake won the town's annual holiday bake-off. Her forever happy place, the cafe complements her sweet, well-ordered life with her roommates, recently widowed Gramps and our yappy Chihuahua pug Crumpet. So when Sylvie learns the cafe might be sold, she's determined to save it the only way she can, by getting the Holiday Channel crew to set a scene at the cafe. She's even met the film's charming lead actor Royce, thanks to Crumpet's meddling. Between an unexpected acting gig, a booth at the Christmas festival, an appearance at the Christmas parade, and a budding romance with Royce, Sylvie has a lot on her plate. Good thing her old friend, gruff yet reliable Abe, has just come home to manage his parents' goat farm, until she catches herself feeling a little too merry and bright in his presence. With some help from family friends Crumpet and the goat farmer down the way, Sylvie's plate might just be full of the sweetest treats she's ever had. So that just sounds really cute, and this one particularly caught my attention because the setting is in a cafe and there's baking involved, and I love reading anything that has baking in it. So book number 10 on my list is The Christmas Season by Sinclair, and this one came out on September 3rd, and the description of this one reads, you're cordially invited to your happily ever after. Emma Lubb is a matchmaker who believes in old-fashioned courtship over swiping left or right. She's inspired by Jane Austen, Bridgerton, and 1001 perfect romance stories where matches were made at elegant soirees and not by sliding into your intending DMs. This year, Emma is inviting you to a very special social season where hopeful singleton might find their own Mr. Darcy waiting under the mistletoe. At a series of glamorous, festive, and most importantly, romantic events, Emma is making it her mission to find love for everyone this Christmas season. This one sounds perfect for Pride and Prejudice fans or Jane Austen fans, and while I haven't read any of Jane Austen's works, I am super interested in this book because it's inspired by Jane Austen. Book number 11 is All's Fair in Love and Christmas by Sarah Monzon, and this one was released on September 5th. And the description on this one reads, two workplace rivals, one festive competition, and a romance that upends it all. Every December, two things are guaranteed for graphic designer Mackenzie Graham, Christmas celebrations and the annual promotion at her workplace. Those two things are by no means mutually exclusive. In fact, the better an employee is at harnessing the Christmas spirit, the more likely they'll win the new job. With her social anxiety, Mackenzie never thought she'd be a contender in her company's holiday competition. So how exactly has she found herself dueling her workplace crush with wrapping paper tubes and using tinsel as her weapon of choice for much-needed raise? So this one also just sounds really cute with a fun holiday competition involved. Book number 12 and the final book on this list is Christmas at the Lake by Anita Hughes. And this one came out on September 26th. And the description of this one reads, on Christmas Eve, just hours before their wedding, Rebecca Huntley is left at the altar by Ben Cole, her college sweetheart and fellow co-founder of the hugely successful dating app Dealbreakers. Rebecca is shocked, but a small part of her isn't surprised. Dealbreakers matches potential couples by the things they hate instead of what they have in common. Lately, she and Ben seem to have less and less in common. He craves the trappings of success, while Rebecca enjoys simple things. Rebecca decides to go on their honeymoon in the charming small town of Christmas Cove on the shores of Lake Tahoe. There she runs into an old college friend, Zach Mason, who always had a crush on her. And through a misunderstanding, Zach believes Rebecca is married to Ben, and Rebecca believes Zach is in a relationship with a sophisticated older woman, when really he's a waiter at the local inn. Alright, so those are 12 Christmas romance books that came out this year in 2023. I hope you found some books on this list that sound interesting to you, and I hope everyone has a great holiday season. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye!